All right, moving on from there, actor Aamir Khan once again is in the eye of a huge controversy. He was in fact, Turkey shooting for his upcoming film when pictures were posted on the Instagram account of the First Lady of Turkey. Now, this has created a huge political storm on, in fact, social media, and now politicians have also jumped in. Aamir Khan, who was once caught saying that his wife doesn't feel safe in India, now people, and especially the politicians related to a particular political party, are asking questions. Turkey, which has had a very anti-India stance, should the actor be photographed with the First Lady there?
Bollywood superstar Aamir Khan was trending on social media after pictures of him meeting Turkish First Lady Emine Erdogan went viral on social media. She met Aamir at the presidential residence at the Huber mansion in Istanbul and took to social media to share pictures of the meeting and wrote, I quote, "I had the great pleasure of meeting Aamir Khan, the world-renowned Indian actor, filmmaker, director in Istanbul. I was happy to learn that Aamir decided to wrap up the shooting of his latest movie, Lal Singh Chadda, in different parts of Turkey. I look forward to it." However, Aamir soon started trending on social media after netizens started trolling the actor for meeting with the First Lady, amongst the sharp deterioration in official relationship between India and Turkey. Indian government officials have recently expressed serious apprehensions on the funding received by radical Islamist organizations operating in Kashmir from Turkish outfits backed by Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Meanwhile, netizens also called in for fans to boycott. According to media reports, Aamir met Erdogan and spoke to her about the work of his NGO Pani Foundation, established by the actor and his wife Kiran Rao, which works in the areas of drought prevention, watershed management in drought-struck areas in the state of Maharashtra. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Now, remember, in the last year or so, the relationship between India and Turkey have been on a downslide. After the abrogation of Article 370 in Kashmir, it was Turkey and the President Erdogan who were one of the few world leaders, those who came out in support of Pakistan and hit out at India. Since then, there has been a downward slide in the relationship between both the countries. So Aamir Khan now facing the ire as far as the politicians are concerned. Listen into some political reactions.
आमिर खान साहब वही हैं जिन्होंने कुछ दिन पहले कहा था कि उनकी पत्नी को और उनके बच्चों को भारत में डर लगता है, यहां उनकी सुरक्षा खतरे में दिखाई देती। उन्हें यह ध्यान रखना चाहिए, आज उनकी जो ऊंचाई बनी है उसके लिए भारत की जनता का प्यार ही जिम्मेदार है। वही इनको इतनी ऊंचाई तक लेकर आया है। इसलिए भारत के प्रति नफरत निर्माण करना और भारत के दुश्मनों के प्रति प्यार दिखाना, ये दोनों चीजें उनके लिए भारी पड़ सकती हैं।
Remember, Aamir Khan is not novice to these controversies. Some would call them meaningless, unnecessary controversies. At a platform of a media, in fact, house, he had said that his wife feels that the intolerance levels have increased in the country and they would want to, in fact, shift from this country. Later, Aamir Khan retracted that statement. He said it was misconstrued. What was his views on intolerance which got him so much negative publicity? Listen in.
My understanding is that a lot of the creative fraternity was protesting because of the growing discomfort that they felt, or the growing atmosphere of intolerance that they felt around them, a growing sense of insecurity and disappointment with that. And as a result, that was their way of showing that they are not happy with the situation. We read in the papers what's happening, we see on news what's happening, and certainly I have also been alarmed. I can't deny that I have been alarmed. Kiran and I have lived all our lives in India. For the first time, Kiran says, should we move out of India? Now, that's a disastrous and very big statement for Kiran to make to me. That does indicate that there is a sense of growing disquiet. It's a sense of growing despondency. Apart from alarm, there's one part of it is alarm. There's another part you feel depressed. You feel low. You feel, why is this happening? So that sense does exist in me, to be quite honest.
मैं एक ऐसा इंसान हूं जो अपने देश से बहुत मैं प्रेम करता हूं, क्योंकि हमारे देश की जो ताकत है वो यही है कि हम इतने अलग हैं, अलग अलग प्रांत के लोग, फिर भी हम एक हैं। यही हमारी ताकत है, यही हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है, और इसको हमें बनाए रखना है। तो यही मैं कन्वे करना चाह रहा था उस वक्त। तो अगर किसी को बुरा लगा हो, वो इसकी वजह से बुरा लगा होगा शायद कि उनको अलग बात कही गई है कि आमिर जो है देश को बदनाम कर रहा है, देश इंटॉलरेंट है, ऐसा कह रहा है। मैंने आज तक ऐसा कभी नहीं कहा। ना मैं देश छोड़ना चाहता हूं, तो ना मैं देश। तो ये जो गलत बातें लोगों को कही गई हैं, चाहे वो पॉलिटिशियंस हो, चाहे वो आम इंसान हो, जरूर उनको ये बात लगी होगी, लेकिन ये सच नहीं है।
Sushant Mehta, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. We are also being joined by Shaina NC of the BJP. Shaira Sahalim, activist, social activist, is also joining us this evening. Thank you to all my guests for joining us here. Sushant, very quickly, just for the benefit of our viewers, was Aamir Khan wrapping up an already scheduled shoot there? He was shooting for Lal Singh Chadda. What was the need for Mr. Khan to meet, in fact, the First Lady there? If you could tell our viewers.
Well, you know, he had planned his shoot for Lal Singh Chadda about 30% in Ladakh. But now you know that that's not possible with the, you know, what's been happening in Ladakh. So they decided to go to Turkey, and he actually plans to shoot in October. But right now he's there for a recce. That's what our sources have told us, that he's there in Turkey for a recce. Remember, Ankit, also in India, in Mumbai, Maharashtra, they're allowing only 30% because of the pandemic. They're only allowing 30% of the crew members to be on actual film sets. So they go overseas, they get their whole crew over there, and they can shoot in these picturesque locations as is basically required by the script. So he's planning to shoot his film in Turkey in October, right now there for the recce. That's what our sources have told us.
Sushant, thanks for joining us. Shaina NC, I would just like to start with you. And why I'm in fact starting with you is because I've just seen a tweet from a few BJP leaders, and I will just name one of them. Kapil Mishra has tweeted, "इन्हें हिंदुस्तान में डर लगता है और टर्की में डर नहीं लगता है." Why is it that Aamir Khan is being dragged into this kind of a controversy? Yes, the relationship between India and Turkey have been on a downslide, but the government has not put any official ban on doing business with Turkey.
So, Ankit, the first reason is the India and Turkey relationship in the current scenario, where Turkey seems to be funding certain terror organizations, is in the public domain. So there is a certain area of contention there. Having said that, Aamir Khan in his individual capacity is a role model, is a film star, and is very prominent with his viewpoints, whether it's the Pani Foundation, that if you have somebody
in Turkey, the First Lady in the particular case, photographs go out on social media. Social media is going to think that why hasn't this role model at least tweeted about Independence Day, about India, about solidarity to India, and about condemning Turkey when it comes
to funding terror organizations. That being the fundamental point. Other than that, he's free to meet who he wants, where he wants, when he wants, how he wants. I don't even think we should be debating on this, Ankit. But there is a reference to context when it comes to sentiment, when it comes to India's safety, security.
The reason why we are forced to debate something as inane as a star meeting any, buddy, is because there are people from the ruling party, those who are making a big deal about this. As you said, it's how is it that every person, every star has to bear the burden of tweeting out? It's not that Aamir Khan tweeted this picture out. It has been on the Instagram page of the First Lady of Turkey. And number two, why is it that now even, the film stars have to be the flag bearers of everything? If the government feels that Turkey is, in fact, working against the interests of the country, the government should put a complete ban on business with Turkey.
Is that question for me?
Shaina? Yes.
So, Ankit, 2 points. Business, economic interests are decisions which is taken by the government of the day, and obviously bearing all parameters and taking all measures into account. Now, when there is an emotive issue, like why are we discussing Aamir Khan? Because he is a role model in India. And if he is a role model, one would expect him to at least condole or condemn any terror activity that has been supported by the Turkish government, which has been brought in public domain. So that's why you're seeing this reaction. I believe that anybody is entitled to meet anyone and it's their own discretion. But having said that, if there is a matter of national security, national pride, or when it comes to a situation such as this, social media is the first to see red. Social media is the first to react, and social media reacts in various ways.
Okay.
I, for one, would
Saira
not
Shah
want to
Halim,
even give the
for Aamir
recognition
Khan,
to
who
this
has
kind of
also
a...
played the role, the very famous role in the movie Lagan, which went to the Oscars. Aamir Khan, who has played, you know, a patriot in many movies. Even after all that, as Shaina was saying, he's a role model. The same role model, every step, every time he meets somebody, every time he steps out, even for a normal shooting of his movie, he has to once again give certificates to people, those who are asking why is it that he's not condoling or condoning or condemning certain acts by a country which, for the record, the government so far has not officially gone ahead and done anything about, with whatever their position on Article 370 and you know, other issues are concerned.
Yeah, so Ankit, is that directed at me?
Yes, Saira.
Yeah, okay, so Ankit, firstly, this is a very inane kind of a Twitter trend that's going on, and I think it's highly unfair when, because the world knows at large how much Aamir Khan has contributed to environment, to the girl child, and so many other social issues. So he, in his personal capacity, who he chooses to meet, is entirely his business, and I think there's nothing wrong if you're shooting in the country or you've come to take a recce of a film. It's basic protocol, it's basic courtesy that you pay a courtesy call to the First Lady. It's not as if he's gone and met Mr. Erdogan himself, he's gone and met the First Lady. And I feel right now the government hasn't announced that it's a matter of diplomatic policy that we'll not be doing business, or artists have to be banned, or tourists have to be banned, and things like that. So I think it just depicts utter joblessness of these right-wing Twitter trolls who've got nothing better to do, because we've got much more, you know, issues at hand in India. Like, how about addressing issues of the spiraling pandemic?
Should a big star as big as Aamir Khan, because we have seen examples in Hollywood as well, leaders, actors, those who have been, you know, seen with certain leaders, those who are like Mr. Erdogan, who has been accused of trampling on human rights in Turkey, is seen as a dictator. They do face certain amount of criticism. If Mr. Aamir Khan is been seen with the first family, even if it is the First Lady, should he also not be prepared to, in fact, and at a time when the sentiments against Turkey are, in fact, against that country in India, should he not also be prepared for this kind of a backlash?
Ankit, I think it's time to hold a mirror ourselves, you see, because when we talk about religious radicalism, I was one of the few people who condemned about Hagia Sophia being converted into a working mosque. Now, closer home, 3,000 miles away, our own political leaders are fulfilling a promise and laying the foundation of a Hindu temple on the very ruins of a destroyed mosque, you know. So I think right now it's a very good time to reflect on ourselves, whether it's the end of a secular republic or we are heading that way, before we criticize other nations, because this is growing religious extremism in both the countries, So before we actually sit and do
Shaina wants to come in, and I just have last couple of minutes on this, so I would just like to give 40 seconds to each of you. Shaina, you know, is it just that movie stars are easy target? Put out some tweets and get immediate attention.
Ankit, first, how can you correlate Monday to this in
facts and historical evidence has been given a conscious decision which propels and being built at the first spot. So let's not put the issues. Yes, film are easy targets. Film models, what film stars say is taken to in a very, very on social media, and especially if it's somebody like Aamir who has done good work, who has, as I said, my opening comment was about the Pani Foundation and all of that. But then if you know that India and Turkey have strained relations, to meet the First Lady and not even have the basic desire to tweet about, say, an Independence Day or your patriotism towards your country, the social media is going to react in various ways. It's a platform where you have all kinds of opinions that coexist.
Saira, last 30 seconds to you. If you are a big star, you have to understand the, the current context and act accordingly. The onus, as Shaina is saying, is on Aamir Khan to in fact choose on how in fact he behaves and who he meets, because there is a certain sentiment right now against Turkey.
No, I understand all that. But let me also tell you that during the CA NRC protest, there were 154 European Union parliamentarians who also went against the draconian CA NRC. So what are we talking about? So yes, I agree there is some kind of a religious right-wing shift in Turkey, but that's happening the world over. It's happening in India also. And together, if we want to ensure that India and Turkey retain the reputation of a secular republic, we both need to work, and work and have that understanding that we will not let religious radicalism break, our secular republic.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. Always good to have two very same voices to present two different sides of the story here on India Today. The basic fact is Aamir Khan is an actor and should be taken as that. Till the time the government officially, if we have problems with Turkey supporting Pakistan, the first thing is we should stop playing cricket with Pakistan. All that should be taken in consideration rather than hitting at a soft target like a movie star as Aamir Khan is. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.